Hi, this is Sara. In this video, we are going to see about a tool, Secure Tomcat JDBC. So before going to what is Tomcat JDBC, I'd like to show you what is Secure Tomcat JDBC. It's a solution to use an encrypted password in Tomcat JDBC Context.xml. I know if you have worked in Tomcat for a quick period of time, when you have a database connecting application, you might have definitely faced this situation where you are using the clear text password in Context.xml. So let's start from the traditional approach. I will show you how we are using the passwords. So I have my Tomcat instance in a background box. Let me quickly bring it up. Yeah, so even if you go here, Tomcat JDBC connection pool, if you search, if you go here, you would be able to see the syntax that they are giving for context.xml is something like this. Do you see this? I hope this is the way that everyone is using, and you will be able to see that the factory that they are using is an arg.apache. I think for if you're not able to see this, let me copy this to a code so that we would be able to see it a little better. So let's close this. Yeah, yes, are you able to? I hope this is the one. Let's change it to XML. Yeah, this is the typical context that we used to use in in which you will be using the factory. The factory element will have the class file name, which is org.apache.jdbc.tool data source factory, which comes from the tomcat underscore jdbc.jar, which will be available in our Apache the Catalina home slash lib slash tomcat jdbc.jar. So that's where this is coming from. And the another thing that we do, this is a driver jar. So this will also be available either in the application, or it will be available in the lib directory. And where is the password? Yes, you see this. So this is what I was talking about. The password is a clear text password. So we are having a clear text password here, which is a security issue. So this secure Tomcat JDBC is here to address that. So you can just see it's a solution. So what is secure Tomcat JDBC? It's a solution to use encrypted password in Tomcat JDBC. It's not a new or relatively a new kind of innovation. It is just an extension of the same Apache.tomcat.jdbc pool data source factory. This is the same factory, which is an extension, and it uses an AES algorithm to encrypt and decrypt the password. It is a connection factory alternative. It is an alternative for this factory, and all the configuration parameters can be retained and can be used. So whatever the configuration you see, it will be same except the factory. So before I come to this point, I would wanted to show you the difference between the regular context.xml with secure Tomcat JDBC implementation. In a regular context.xml, we would be using the factory as arg.apache.tomcat JDBC pool data source factory, which is something that we see here, and which comes from Tomcat JDBC.jar. On the other hand, if you see, the factory that we are using is secure Tomcat data source IMPL, which is something that we are preparing. And the password you see here, it's a clear text password, and here we are going to use an encrypted password. So that's what the secure Tomcat JDBC is offering us. And now I think this point would make more meaningful. All the configuration parameters can be retained and can be used. So you can just see that we have just changed the factory and the password elements. Other than that, everything would be the same. Max active, min idle, max wait, remove abandoned, everything which you can use with the traditional Apache Tomcat JDBC pool data source factory, which you can use with secure Tomcat DataSource IMPL as well. And the next point is it is actually built in with some shell scripts and the Java file. It's basically a Java files. There are two major Java files is there behind this secure Tomcat JDBC. I'll show you. And there is a wrapper shell script, and it works well with Tomcat 7 and Tomcat 8. I actually tried to make it for Tomcat 6, but it is not working because it is using a DBCP pool configuration. If you go to Tomcat 6, I may be able to show you. Let it come. So if you see, Tomcat uses a jar file. There would be no jar file like Tomcat JDBC.jar in the lib directory of Catalina. There instead in Tomcat 6 there would be a file called dbcp.jar. So it was very earlier and very old methodology to connect to the data source databases, but now it is no longer being used since Tomcat 7. So I have made this and tested it with Tomcat 7 and Tomcat 8. Though Tomcat JDBC.jar can be put into the Tomcat 6 library and can be used, but I'm not sure how well the secure Tomcat JDBC would work with Tomcat 6. I would encourage you to go ahead and test and post it. And it leaves no footprint, like no security key and the password. It's actually not leaving anywhere in the file system. So it is I would say that it is more secure, and it has an additional logging facility. The log useful information, I will show what is the logging facility. And the 10th point, which is important, it is completely open source. You can tweak it to suit all your needs. Now let's go back. Now let me show some typical infrastructure where there is a clear text password. Then I will show you how we are going to fix it. I just logged into the CentOS instance where there is a Tomcat supposed to be running. Let me quickly start it. Apps Tomcat. If you go here, yeah. Let me show you something before that. I was talking about the DBCP, right? So I will show it here. I think, I don't know if I have removed it, but yeah, DBCP, I actually moved it. So I tried to do it. So the password Tomcat, yeah, you see this Tomcat dbcp.jar. So this is a jar file which will be available in this directory. Most of the people would say that you can use the Tomcat jdbc.jar from the Tomcat 7 or Tomcat 8 in Tomcat 6 to get the connections, and yeah, I tried it but it didn't work well. So I'm leaving the Tomcat 6 for now. Let's go back to Tomcat 7, and if you go to the conf directory, you would be able to see Context.xml. Let me open it here for you. And here you are able to see that the factory I'm using is r.apache.tomcat JDBC pool data source factory, and which is traditional. And I'm also using a clear text username, Tomcat 7 user, and I'm using a clear text password, Tomcat 7 user. So which is something. So first let's check how it is working and everything. I have to work with this application. I have prepared a sample application called a DB app. You can just see this. I have deployed an application named DB app. So let's try to launch the instance and access this application and see if it is able to do. It is simply connecting to a table and just show some results. It just for some results. So just prepared to explain that there is a connectivity first of all. So let me start this instance. Oh sorry, I'm trying to start it with Vagrant. Now let's go back as a Tomcat user and Tomcat 7 Catalina.research and start. I have started it. Yes, now let's come back and try to access the application. So this is an IP and it is running on 8081, and the context root is DB app. So this is a test DB application, and this is where our code is. So unable to get connection, data source invalid, SQL exception is coming, which means that it is I forgot to start my data source. Let me start my MySQL database. Give me a minute. So I'm starting my MySQL. So I'm using a Mac, so I just have it in a Mac host machine which can be connected. I have enabled the remote connection from within the vagrant. I can actually connect it. So for those who don't know how it will, what are the logs it will be generated when there is a connection issues, you would be able to see this. I'm just showing it for you. This is the one, the last packet sent successfully. Yeah, the communication link failure, so it's not able to connect. So there is a problem. If you are able to see, you're not, it is nowhere printing for which connection factory or which data source it is trying to create the connections. So it will just simply say that the communication link failure. When there are multiple data sources to the same MySQL or Oracle, you cannot actually predict which data source or which database is unavailable. So that this is an issue that we would be addressing with secure Tomcat JDBC as well. Now let's go back and uh, I we need to restart it first. We have started the application, right? So let's stop it and start it back, and let's test it. It's taking a time, and in a minute we will get a record set. Meanwhile, let me show what is the database, what is the code, and what is there in that what is that code is doing. Let's go to the web directory here and go to the db app, and then show the test db. Yeah, this is a file. So it connects simply like using, it just select id, name, email from user data. So it just connect to user data and try to get id, name and email, and just it just show it as a table or something. So you can just see that this is the page. Now it is loaded. If you want to make sure that it is dynamic and I'm not using a properly designed something, let me show it to you here. It's taking a little time. So yeah, I've come databases here. I just need to, yeah, database connection, connect, and I have connected. Let me try to see what is there in the, yeah, I've connected successfully. I need to run a code, execute a command. So let's execute some command. The command is select star from user data, and let's execute this query. Run selection. It has, yeah, you would be able to see Sarah Gopi test user. That's what we are seeing here. I can add one more user just to show you. Let me name it as 4 and Vijay. Let's say vijay@gmail.com. I'm just adding, say OK. It's added here. Let's refresh our page and it should give the Vijay right on. Yes, it should. It's taking a little time. Give it a minute, it will come back. So I don't know that there is a connectivity issue or something. Yeah, so let it come. Meanwhile, we will this is a poorly designed application, so we don't have to worry about it. It's clear. Yeah, now let's go back to the terminal, go back to the server. This is in chap 2. Okay, I think my box went down. I think it went to idle state. I would have to start it again. Give it a minute. So it's coming up. Yeah, you're able to see that a new Vijay, the data that we have added has come. So let us add one more data in NetBeans and see if it is getting added, so that we can just make sure that it is a valid application. Let's say Rajni and an email, rajni@gmail.com. Say OK, and then refresh this page. Yeah, so we are able to see that it is working fine. Now let's go and do something which is a ultimate objective of this post. Let me go to the application. Let me go to that server, centralized server. Okay, apps Tomcat 7 conf Context.xml. Yeah, so that's what we were talking about. We are using the factory arg.apache Tomcat JDBC full, and we are using a clear text password Tomcat 7 user, and the password Tomcat 7 user. The username and password are same. So let's do something. Let's try to encrypt it using secure Tomcat JDBC. Now let me switch it to Tomcat. Go to apps Tomcat and I have to go to cd Tomcat 7 bin get lane.sh stop. Yeah, now we have stopped the instance. Yeah, make sure that there is no instance. Now let's go back and just hit the application. It should not be available. Yep, it's not available. Now I have actually downloaded the secure Tomcat JDBC already, but for people I will show what is how to use it. First you need to download the zip distribution of secure Tomcat JDBC from my GitHub page. I will show you it. Okay, secure Tomcat JDBC, yes, it's here. Yeah, you would be able to see that there are a couple of files including the source files and everything. So let me give a quick overview on what is the what is there in this project. So the first one which is there is this class file, which is encrypt and decrypt JDBC past Java. This file is basically to encrypt and decrypt. So it does not do anything. It just encrypt and decrypt the passwords with AES. And this one we see secure Tomcat JDBC source IMPL, the one that we are actually using in our Context.xml as a factory. So this does the major work, which is it's a data source connection. So it you can just see that it extends the data source factory, which is arg.apache Tomcat JDBC pool.data source factory. So it's not a which is just an extension of secure Tomcat. What it's actually doing, it's working as another layer to provide encryption and decryption. And here you would be able to see that we have also added logging, which is whenever it is trying to create a connection for particular data source, it will print a message creating a new connection full part for data source with a URL and a username. So which is really helpful for in case of resolving some production issues where you don't know which data source is not working, or if it is really a data source issue, or if it is something else. So you would be able to easily isolate it. So which is something that I have faced in past, so I just added this in now. So another major file is the sh file. So it is a kind of a wrapper which is using these Java files in the back end, which pretty much do the compiling and everything. So I would show you how it is working in a minute. Now all you have to do is I'm writing a post about it in middleware inventory, and you would be able to download the zip file from here, secure Tomcat JDBC.zip. This is a file that you have to download. And let me go to the directory where I have my secure Tomcat JDBC. If you go yes, yeah, if you go here, you would be able to see the files. The first whatever the file that I have said, the Java file, the secure Tomcat data source IMPL, and the Encrypt JDBC Java, and the jar file it is producing, and secure Tomcat JDBC.sh and everything. So let's execute this secure Tomcat JDBC.sh, and it will ask for a Catalina home where your conf bin and web apps directory is available. So apps Tomcat 7 is the directory where I have my conf bin. It is my Catalina home, and all you have to do is that it will just go into this directory and it will automatically find the bin, and it will try to execute version.sh in every single. If you in this path apps Tomcat 7 in bin, there is a script called version.sh. It will run that version.sh and it will get all this information like what is a JRE home, what is the server version, JVM version, Catalina home, and class path and everything. So I mean, we try to do all the stuff. I mean, the secure Tomcat JDBC is taking all the information. It is fetching all other information if you just give the Catalina home. That's all. Now it is asking for the password to encrypt. Let's say Tomcat 7 USR. That's the password that we have used earlier. So enter the secret passphrase. I am typing something. Let's say Iron Man. Creating the jar module. Yes, everything is done. You would be able to see that it has created a jar file, and your encrypted password is this. So this is the encrypted password that you should be using, and as instructed in the script, I have actually put a set of instructions that you have to follow once you have executed the script. So this is the first step. After executing the script, you have to copy the generated Tomcat jdbc.jar into your lib folder. The reason that why I haven't added it, I mean, some people would definitely, I mean, follow the change management process, or when you might be exploring or trying out this. So I don't want to directly go and place the jar files into your directory. So I just wanted to leave the Tomcat untouched. So that's the reason I'm just doing it. Replace the factory element in context.element. So you have to just change the factory element in context.xml. The third one is you have to change, you have to replace the clear text password with the encrypted password. So that's what we are going to do now. The first step, let's do this. Copy the generated secure Tomcat JDBC. So cp secure Tomcat JDBC.jar in the directory where you have the secure Tomcat JDBC, wherever I call it as a workspace where you have unzipped. So in from there you have to, I mean, once this secure Tomcat JDBC.sh is completed, it will create a new jar file. You have to copy that into the lib folder. So whenever you are adding any new password, it is mandatory that you have to use the secure Tomcat JDBC.jar in there. So just make sure that you are using the right. If you are having multiple data sources, make sure that you use the same what do you call it, secret key, otherwise you would be having issues. So as of now I am having only one data source, so I'm not having issues. But when you are having multiple data sources with the different passwords, I would really encourage you to use the same secret passphrase, which is in my case Iron Man. You can just keep anything you want. Now let's see, we have copied it. Let's go to the directory apps Tomcat 7 lib. Excuse me. Here we just copied secure Tomcat jdbc.jar. Now we have it. The second step that we have to do, are the script has asked us to do, is to change the factory with this. So what we are going to do is the same. So let's go to the const directory and take a backup of context.xml original. Yes, now open the context.xml and go to factory. Yes, there is a factory. In now replace this factory with our IMPL, and we have to replace the password with the password that it has given. I forgot to capture it, so let me copy it. Now come back, open it, go to password here, and then place it, Control V. Yes, so we have just put it. Now let's go back, cd/bin. You can just see that the Java instance is not running and the application that we have designed is not working here. So we are good. Let's start the instance now. So this is an working environment where I have my MySQL connector and everything is available. So you make sure that I haven't mentioned it because I just considered that this is a working environment and we are going to use the existing data source with encryption. So, and I haven't mentioned the basic instructions. So let's go back and go to the logs and tail it. Yeah, let's go to the bottom. There will be some few exceptions because I'm using in 5.1 the MySQL version. So I can show you when you're using the right JDBC connector driver, you would not get this information. So you can see this. This is what I was talking about: creating a new connection pool for the data source, URL JDBC, and the username. The username is Tomcat 7 user. So you can just see. So this would be really helpful when you have multiple data sources and to determine which the remote database server is down. Now let's say that it has connected to the database. Let's refresh the application. Yes, it is working. You see this? It is working, and we have successfully implemented a data source with an encrypted password with a simple changes. So thanks to secure Tomcat JDBC. Okay, so somebody today, tomorrow somebody is coming and trying to sneak out the password from this context.xml file. They cannot get to it because the password is encrypted, and the secret key that is only known to you. You can keep it in some vault and somewhere to decrypt this password. So now it is in safe hands. So let me add one more element here just to verify with this is a current data, just to show you that it is a current data. Now name. Uh, let's say I'm okay. I would add Tony Stark email. Okay, it's stuck. Yeah, I just added a null. It's fine. Let's see what is. Yep. Yeah, Tony Stark added, but not email. Okay, let's add some another entry. 7 Einstein. Stein at gmail.com. Yeah. Yes. So let's refresh it. Yes, we have added it. So thereby we have successfully executed and encrypted our password using secure Tomcat JDBC, and this is how it is working. You would be let me show the output once again. You would be able to see that it is just getting the Tomcat Lena home, and it is trying to fetch all the information, and then it is creating a jar file, and it is showing the encrypted password. So let me give a summary, like what are the steps that you have to use for using the secure Tomcat JDBC. So download the zip file from the zip page, uncompress or unzip to any directory, start the script Tomcat secure Tomcat JDBC.sh, enter the Catalina home directory as an input, and Java home and all other required parameter will be auto fetched. Enter the password to encrypt including the passphrase. Copy the generated secure jar file into the Catalina home loop directory. Replace the factory element in the context.xml with this, and replace the encrypted password in place of a clear text password. That's all, and everything would work as usual for you. And thanks for watching.